Welcome to the show where I take a look at someone's personal finances and find ways to overcome their bad personal finances or meet their financial goals they're trying to achieve. Remember to subscribe, as one of the first 50,000 subscribers here will win $1,000, and we are very close. With that, my name is Caleb Hammer. Today we are meeting with Aaron. Aaron, how old are you? Where are you based out of?
I am 34 years old. I am from Louisville, Kentucky, but for right now, I'm on a work project, and I'm in Reno, Nevada right now.
Oh, okay. What do you do for work?
I drive a tractor trailer. I used to be international, like United States, toward the West Coast, and sometimes into Canada, but mainly just regional in the Kentucky area, Tennessee, Ohio, that area.
I almost feel like I should say thank you for your service because we desperately need more truck drivers and you're keeping the supply chain alive. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
What do you bring in on an annual basis?
I just looked at my paycheck stub. It's at 80,000 for the year so far, gross.
Ooh.
My wife brings in between 16 to 1700 every 2 weeks.
So we'll say she brings in about 43,000. So wow, okay. So dang, if y'all are out there and you have an income problem, look at truck driving because $80,000 a year, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's not bad. My CDO education cost $4,800, and I got that paid off within 6 months of driving. I started in 2011.
Very cool, very cool. So small investment up front and then a great return, it sounds like that. Definitely better return than many degrees.
Yeah, definitely. And we also need to include income of about $700 a month because we're foster care providers.
Oh, awesome. How many kids do you have?
Just one.
Very cool, very cool. And what is your overall financial situation that you wanted to talk about today that I might be able to help with?
I am curious what a safe emergency fund for our situation would be. That is my ultimate question. I don't have a mortgage, it's paid for. Don't have auto loans, they're paid for. So the only thing I have is a personal loan that I'm paying on right now.
What is this personal loan?
The personal loan is at 18,700 at 11.4%.
Ooh, jeez. Oh, man. We were having so many good things going, and then you hit me with that 11%, 18,000 grossness. Okay. What was the personal loan taken for?
The original was at 23. I took that out in May.
Yeah, but what was it for? Why'd you take it?
Oh, I don't know why. I had this idea. At the time, I had a car loan at $648 per month, and I was going to use this loan to pay it off. It was at 23,000 was the loan, and the payment was 505. So I figured I could save a couple dollars by using that loan to pay off the car. But I thought, I'm going to lose the gap insurance. I believe.
Okay, so your paid for car is not really paid for because this was just money being moved.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea.
What was the interest rate on that card debt?
It was at 3%.
3%?
Yeah, I was so ignorant.
Okay. I'm going to try to not bully you too hard, but that hurts me. That hurts me. All right. Now, I do see a checking account. I see beginning balance 1,000, in 12,000, out 11,819. Ending balance $1,600. So it looks like most money goes somewhere. Let's see where the money went to. So American funds investment. So we're investing some money. Then subscriptions like Netflix, and we have shopping like Speedway and Sam's Club. So gas and groceries as well. Utilities like, oh, it looks like you're paying. Oh, never mind. What internet access? What's account one internet access? $500.
Account one $500.
It says account one internet access and it was $500 taken out.
Internet access, $500. Does it say the company or anything?
No,
No. Do you know the date of that?
the third of the 3rd of November.
The 3rd of November, $500 access. I don't know. I need to look into that.
Oh, it looks like these might just be different accounts because then you also transferred. So this was account number 1, whatever that is, and then account number 8 you transferred 647 to. So what are these different accounts that you have that are being transferred to and from?
I do have a checking account and a savings account. I also have a foster care payment account. So any of the foster care money comes in, I put the money into the foster care account and also take $100 of that foster care money and I put it into the child's. They have their own personal savings account. That's probably what that is.
Very cool. And yeah, so and then honestly, not too much like eating out. Like there's a good amount of the investments out there in some sushis and Thorntons and White Castle. It's really not crazy on here, at least. And your other checking account, is there more spending on there?
I'm not sure.
Oh wait,
No, I don't have another checking account.
oh wait a second. There was a brief middle page in between the statement continuing. So I thought that was a very short statement. I see it goes much longer. So there's Dunkin', and we're transferring money back and forth, and Dunkin' and Starbucks and grocery shopping, taking care of cars, Amazon, lots of Sam's Club. That makes sense. It's a growing family, and Meijer and Amazon, 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 Amazon. Dunkin' Donuts, I see a trend with Dunkin' Donuts and Amazon popping up, and we're getting gas, and Dollar General you guys go to a bunch, and Amazon Prime purchase, and Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. Pick one, pick your favorite coffee, and transfers back and forth, and McDonald's and Thorntons are showing up again, and some PayPal thing we don't know, and then Taco Bell and Starbucks and Dunkin's and Lowe's and Thorntons and Coffee Cross, so changing up our caffeine intake just a little bit, and Dairy Queen, Dunkin', Amazon, Dunkin', Home Depot, yikes, White Castle, Pilot, and well, that's gas, and Thorntons and Amazon. More. Oh, that was a PayPal in, so at least there's that. And going to the pharmacy, got to do that. Children's Museum, okay, $56, interesting. Starbucks, Asian House, Dunkin', Thorntons, Goodwill, Dunkin', Thorntons, Dunkin', McDonald's, Disney Plus, Taco Bell, Dunkin', Papa Murphy's, Dunkin'. Woo! Starbucks, Dunkin', White Castle, Starbucks. Yikes, dude. Starbucks, yummy sushi. Dude, that's a lot of spending across the board.
Yeah, my wife said that he's going to nail us on the Dunkin' Donuts in the Starbucks. That's our only vice. We don't drink or smoke, so.
Well, okay. Now, it's all that $12,000 is all just leaving though, and it's all leaving on kind of 3 categories as far as I'm seeing: gas, mandatory payments such as utilities and groceries, really, but that grocery might be kind of high. And then number 3, lots of eating out and lots of coffee and stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to cut back on that. That could go to that personal loan I owe on.
Yes, and that's what I'm thinking. So how much is sitting in this other checking account?
Oh, currently in the checking account?
You said there's a couple different checking accounts. So how much is sitting in the other accounts?
Okay, like our primary checking account that we get paid every Thursday is at 1,900. The savings account has 1,000 in it, and we also have a car repair fund at 308.
How much was in that savings again?
It's at $1,000.
Yeah, this conversation started very promising, but there's definitely some things to clean up. I don't think you're in an overly terrible position, but it's time that we clean this up. Would you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Good. Now,
I just I need a plan. Oh, go ahead.
okay. So really, I think what we're seeing here is that we might not be living on a strict budget. Am I assuming that correctly?
We're not strict. No, not at all.
So it comes down to a few things. If you're having $12,000 come in on a monthly basis, that's incredible. And you don't have to pay for a home because it's already paid for. I mean, you probably have property taxes, but still, I mean, that has to be such a small percentage of your income. So this home that's paid for, how much is it worth, by the way?
Oh, the house. I'm not sure. I paid for it 112,000 in 2013. I have not looked at appraisal. I don't know if I should trust Zillow with that amount on the Zestimate.
Probably not with Zillow, but it doesn't really matter for this conversation. I was just curious because that's awesome that you have a paid for house. But so really, it just with $12,000. Let's think of your necessities to survive. How much do you think you spend on gas on a monthly basis?
I would say weekly myself only is about 65 to 70.
It's expensive. And does your wife drive a lot as well?
Very little, mainly just transportation of the child, and she works from home, so that really cuts down on a lot of her driving.
So can we say $400 a month if we're being a little overzealous on gas?
That might be the right number. Maybe I could 350 bucks, maybe.
We'll call it 350 then.
Yeah.
I always like to give a little room as we guess these necessities to survive. Utilities, how much do you think is coming out on a monthly basis from utilities?
Water is 100, I think 150 every 2 months. And power, I just paid that bill at 133, and it ranges anywhere between that amount to about 250 in the summer.
Okay, so we'll call it again. We'll just as we'll call it 300. Go a little buffer room. Obviously, we're headed into we're in the cold season, and we won't be in the summer for a while. But still, just as we're just creating like an average budget. Let's just see. And then property taxes, you probably pay annually, or do you pay monthly, quarterly?
I just got the bill in September and December, respectively. The city that I live in was 540, and the county that I live in was for 1550 for the year.
So $167 a month, essentially, if we think about it that way. So, okay, cool. So necessities to keep a roof over your head and make sure that you are driving. We are at $820, essentially, rounded up, giving us all 820.
So that means I would need to save $820 a month.
Oh, I see what you're thinking for the emergency fund. We'll get to the emergency fund in a second, but we gotta take care of this horrible 11% debt first because it's disgusting. So we have to take care of it. So now with the family, I'm going to be relatively generous with the grocery bill and say, well, actually, let's be extra generous just to show how much you can squeeze out of your budget. So let's be extra generous this time. Just as an example, you have a $1,180 month grocery and goods in general budget. That's a lot, but let's just say that's what you need, toilet paper and everything like that included. So $2,000 a month is what's necessary to survive. $2,000. You bring in $12,000 a month.
Yes.
That means the other $10,000, if we're thinking starting now through the end of January, the $18,400 is gone. It's paid off. $10,000 a month.
You said January next year?
Well, like next month.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that kind of works out because on this work project I'm doing in Reno, they are paying some extra money on that as well. I'm expecting about $2,000 to $2,400 next week and the week after.
Good, good. That's awesome. Anything to help. But the main issue here, there's not an income problem. You guys bring in so much money after taxes. It's fantastic. And you only really need probably like $1,200 to actually survive. I did $2,000 to be extra generous compared to like anyone I've talked to so far. What the real problem is, $11,819 was just out the door within the statement that we looked at because nothing's being budgeted. We're spending so much on groceries. We're spending so much on fun, so much on getting coffee, so much on restaurants, so much on Amazon. So much money is just gone. There was some going to investments, it looked like. What is, for example, American Funds investment?
My mom, she set up an investment fund when I was a baby, and she gave it to me in 2006 when I turned 18. And it's just money that I just put to and just build investments. It used to be called American Funds, and some company bought it out and called it Capital Funds or something like that.
Okay, yeah, and that's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, there's a delay, so it's you. I don't think you did, but go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Oh, did you want to know what it's worth right now?
Sure.
Yeah, it fluctuates between $38,000 and $39,000.
Okay. Okay. So the fun thing about this is you are a little behind on that in terms of retirement, but you have so much money that once this thing is taken care of and once we get to an emergency fund, that thing is going to balloon so quickly and you both are going to be so incredibly wealthy. It's going to be fantastic. What has to happen in order to do that? Over these next few months, $2,000 is what we live off of. $2,000. So all the groceries, all the utilities, all saving money for the property taxes, everything, $2,000. It cannot go a penny over that. And if you actually do that, by the end of January, that horrible, evil 11% debt is gone.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that plan. Hopefully, I'm on one of your follow-up episodes.
It's so much easier said than done, though, because, again, almost $12,000 was just out the door last month. So a real serious conversation needs to happen into true understanding and tracking of every single cent that is being spent starting tonight. It needs to be well understood and documented. So we're budgeting this thing truly, because this is so much easier said than done. Cutting this, by like a fifth. You're cutting your spending by a fifth. It's drastic.
Yeah. I think that when we do go out and we get our coffees and stuff, I mean, maybe that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that loan. I also have to add that my round trip to work every day is 43 miles.
Okay.
That might be why my gas is a little high.
Your gas is okay. We're not going to worry about it, but we included that in your necessities. And, when I talked about the categories that were breaking you, I didn't bring that up because I know that's required for you with your really good paying job. We're just out of control spending. And I misspoke. You're not cutting your budget by a third because that's not that, or by a fifth. That's not that drastic. You're cutting your spending to a fifth of what you're spending now. That's drastic. So a really serious conversation needs to happen between you and your wife to make sure you're on the same page and starting this now. Do you think that is actually going to happen?
I'll have to ask, talk to my wife about the Amazon. She's the Amazon and the PayPal person. When you say 1/5, what is that exact number? What do you say?
$2,000.
2,000. You're saying cut or just live on $2,000?
You're living on $2,000, which should be incredibly easy. Again, I give you a big cushion, but you should not spend a single cent more than $2,000 for anything. Anything.
Okay. You know what? I think that's going to work because this past month, November, I put 3,000 on the car, and that was able to eliminate that debt.
Okay. So
The original debt of that car was 45 back in September of 2021.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, do you want to know the extra fun thing?
Go ahead.
Your required living expenses are actually really low. I don't think you need more than a $10,000 emergency fund. If for the sake of feeling, less at risk, you want to go higher than that, you can. I don't think you need more than that because you have a paid for house and you're going to have no debts and you can cut back living expenses in an emergency situation in terms of what you spend. So in reality, if you do this plan, $2,000 a month spending through the end of February, this 11% debt is gone and you have a fully funded emergency fund. And then your life is incredible.
Yeah. I think that's very doable. I get that bill every month. That debt that I owe, it's 505 minimum. And for the first couple months, I've been able to pay 1,000. And then the past 2 months, I was like, well, the minimum is only 505, so I've been paying 600. So I've reduced the pay down amount. So I got to get back onto paying it down faster.
Yeah, now we're doing $10,000 these next 2 months. Each month, $10,000.
Yep.
So,
very, 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 very doable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys got this. In terms of what's necessary to sacrifice for a better life, you all are in such a position where you can do it so quickly. It's a drastic change from what we're doing right now, but you're on the other side of the dark tunnel in a matter of only a few months, which is amazing.
Yes, I totally agree. It's a little bit of a pep talk to get it, get into the work, to pay it off.
Yeah. One thing you should start doing at the end of February, so starting in March, in the $12,000 take home, instead of, we need to continue budgeting, that's for sure. But you can have fun again. You can go get your coffees. We can do Amazon spending, all that stuff after the emergency fund. So starting in March again, you can do that. But you should set aside $2,400 a month minimum to go towards investing.
Yes. Usually I average between $100 and $300 in that American Funds account that you saw. Do you want to know the retirement counts at work?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
At my work, we do not match. So I put 5% 401k, and my wife, she does 6% on the front end, and then there's employee match, and she does 4% on the back end of a Roth 401k.
Oh, very cool. Well, I would heavily consider $2,400, whatever that percentage is of your income. I would heavily consider having that go directly to your 401k because at least it's tax advantage compared to this American Funds investment. So that'll be really good for retirement purposes. So whatever that percentage is, essentially I do 20%. So that's what I'd think. You should do a 20% into your 401k, which would be fantastic. And I don't think you'll max it out. Maybe. Oh, maybe actually. I don't know. I don't know what the max is for next year. It takes a lot to max a 401k, but depends how hard you go.
Yeah, it's not maxed out. I think it takes in about $80 to $90 a week. That's taken from my taken from my pay into the 401k.
No, it's not even close to max out right now. I'm talking after February when you start contributing 20%.
Okay, I understand.
So that'll get you to a place of good retirement. So, the limit on employees and referrals. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. The 401k max was a lot smaller than I thought. For some reason, I knew this, but for some reason, all of a sudden, I was projecting so much higher in my head. So you'll max it out, and then anything beyond that, throw the other 20% in that American Funds retirement thing that you have going on.
Yeah. But the American Funds is not like a retirement account. It's like tax deferred or, whatever. It's just mutual funds.
Yes. And that's fine. That's fine. So we're maxing out the 401k, and then after that, you can put it in there. You could do a backdoor Roth IRA if you wanted to on the side as well.
Yeah. I was thinking in the future after that personal loan, I was going to have my wife increase her Roth 401k percentages to like 15, maybe 20%.
You both should be doing 20%.
Oh, both. Okay.
After the personal loan and after the emergency fund, to be clear.
Okay. All right. What do you recommend as a an emergency savings account?
The $10,000.
$10,000, and is that good for 6 or 1 year?
That's good for a little over 6 months for you guys. I honestly think if the worst came to worst and you could only live on the emergency fund because of your pretty much no mandatory expenses on a monthly basis, you all could easily stretch $10,000 for quite a while.
Okay. I was talking to my wife about a month ago, and she said that she would feel comfortable with an emergency fund of about 20,000. So, yeah, you are correct. 6 months, 10,000.
Yeah, and 20,000 is fine. That's, for people typically where you are in life, 20,000 is usually a good go-to. The thing is, your home is paid for and you'll have zero debts, and you can cut back so drastically where you don't need yours to be as high. But if you decide you want to do 20,000, that's fine. I wouldn't aggressively save. I would aggressively save again until March for the 10,000, and then if you want to save in smaller increments going forward to get to 20,000 at some point, that's fine.
Okay. My only fear with 20,000 in the bank is that it's losing value.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you and I are completely aligned on that, and that's why I would do no more than 10 if I were in your shoes.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great.
Awesome. Well, this is an interesting situation. You are clearly in a good place to dig yourself out of the hole that you put yourself in, and we just really got a budget, and we got to pay this off aggressively, save up that emergency fund, and then get these retirement accounts going so you can catch back up. But you're obviously in a good place, and I think you'll be in an amazing place very soon. But do you have any final thoughts?
No final thoughts. Caleb, thank you very, very much for your time. I have been so excited to be on your show ever since I started watching you back in early August.
Aaron and his wife have a great income and kind of a small hole compared to that to get out of. So I think they'll do it if they really follow my non-official financial advice and do this and really cut back in budget. They will be at a 10 out of 10 within just a few months. It'll be incredible. But their Hammer financial score today does have to be a 7 out of 10 because of that really bad debt and no emergency fund. But subscribe and follow all the fun links in the description below. Thanks.